like I was saying earlier, parking, when we put on the uniform, we actually inherit a lot of past, a lot of history, a lot of things that have been going on. And since I've become the supervisor, as well as the trainer before the supervisor, what I'm trying to bring to parking is a new perception that our officers have bought into, and I'm hoping that the campus have seen a different trend, a different mindset from parking. And what I mean by that is we're here to help. And nobody believes that, but that's what we're here to do. Once I train all of the officers during the training program, when we hire them on, the first thing I tell them is, when you go to a situation, first thing you want to do is ask yourself the question, what can I do to help in this situation? Understanding that at the end of the day, we have control of what's going to happen. But if we have the mindset to try to see what we can do to help a person first, then I think the outcome, whether it involves a ticket or not, it's a good feeling on both parties. And that's what we're trying to do. I also help out with the new student orientation, which I've been trying to do since I've been here. I've been here for going on 7 years now. And finally, in this role, I'm able to now go in the orientation with the new students. And I'm able to give them information that will help them. When the new students come in orientation, you have everybody represented on campus, the mathematics department, the police department. You have parking services, which tells them how to get the decal and that sort of thing.
Right.
But it doesn't. We never had anybody from enforcement there to say, hey, we're the good guys. Let us tell you how to keep from getting tickets. But now I'm able to do that. I'm able to do that spiel on the parking. Okay, this is what you do. You need to get a decal and so forth. So I'm giving the information that they normally get from parking services, but being a parking enforcement officer, now I'm able to say, now let me tell you some things you can do to keep from getting tickets.
Okay.
And by doing that, it doesn't mean that we get less tickets, because we have the regulars, the habitual violators that's just going to do what they want to anyway. So by us helping people, it has no effect on the fact that, well, maybe if they help us, they can't write tickets. No, that doesn't have anything to do with it. So what we do, I tell them, I say, and I can give you an example. A lot of the students will come in, and employees will go to the Hendricks Center. In the Hendricks Center, we have two types of meters, a visitor meter and a timed meter. The time meter are for employees and students. But most people in a hurry, they run in and they have good intention. They're going to go pay the meter, but they're not paying attention to the marking. Well, most of them will pull into the visitor space, pay the meter, and get out. Well, that's a ticket because they're not visitors. But so those things like that, I just tell them, you got two types of meters, and just make them aware of it. And that stops them from getting tickets. So that's the kind of information I like to share with them, to let them know that there's things that are out there that, even though if they're not paying attention to detail, trying to do the right thing, they could end up with a citation and not really trying to be a violator. One of the things that I found on campus with parking is that, yes, there's plenty of parking spaces, but there are not enough convenient spaces. That's the problem. We live in a world of convenience, and everybody wants something convenient. Well, there's only limited convenient spaces. But what I'm finding on campus is that the reason most people are getting a lot of tickets, especially the students, is they're using the spaces for the wrong reasons. And this is what I mean. The 30-minute spaces that you find around the dorms. What they're meant for are for students to unload, take groceries and stuff in, and move their cars to a resident lot where they have parking at. And that way, it gives the other 3,000 students a chance to do the same thing. But what happens is you get students that are pulled into the 30-minute spaces to go to class, which eliminates the problem, the purpose of the space for the students to use. And we get calls from students because they can't go in to park and get their groceries in because they're students, mainly commuters, and some residents from the other side of campus, just sitting in those spaces trying to go to class. Well, I'm not the smartest man in the world, But I do know that if you got a 30-minute class and a 30-minute space on a 50-minute class, it don't add up. So they're easy tickets, you know. Same way with the meters. The meters only give you an hour. They're not made to go to class. The meters at the Hendricks Center are made for students and employees to go in and get them a bite to eat, you know, and have some downtime and move out because, again, we got a campus full of people that would like to do the same thing. But what's happening is, again, they're using them to go to class. Put an hour in, class an hour, you got 5 minutes to walk to class, 5 minutes to walk back, tickets, you know. And if they would just stop doing that and use the spaces for what they're designed for, utilize the spaces that they have, especially residents, to park in, it would go away. Said if you guys really want to make parking or get back at parking, have a week of parking in the right places. Just show us, you know, that, you know, no tickets this week. We're going to have a no ticket week. We're going to park in the right place. We'll show those guys.
Because if everybody did that, you guys wouldn't have a job.
We'd find something else to do. We don't, you know, we're not just ticket writers.
Right.
You'd be surprised how many people that comes to campus is lost, that I'm showing where to go, giving direction, and helping out, you know. But there's a lot of other things that we do, you know. But yeah, we just direct our energy and hopefully can do some other things on campus that can make the campus better, you know. My biggest thing right now that I'm having to deal with is bicycles and mopeds, because they're growing and they're growing. And look on campus, you'll see a bicycle rack at the building, which is a beautiful thing. Ride bicycle, you can park at the building, but then right beside the bicycle rack is a rail. And the bicycle rack has plenty of spaces, but they're tying them up to the rails, in the stairwells, you know, I mean, just everywhere, on trees, you know. That's what you should do, you know. That's the biggest thing right now. I spend more time with bicycles and mopeds, you know, than we do cars. So the trend is changing, you know.
Interesting.
So we're going to be busy doing something, you know. Yeah.